Welcome to another creative podcast where creative outcasts come together to share their stories so we can all feel a little less lonely. I'm your host, Janelle Marquez. Hello. Welcome back to another episode. If you haven't noticed already, this week's episode is actually a mini episode. That's why it's called 12A, because it's a slight extension of the most recent episode I uploaded, which was almost 2 weeks ago. I have not intentionally been taking breaks, but I did want to come on here and speak candidly about what's kind of been happening and where I am in life at the moment, because right now, if I'm being quite honest, I am not in the best place mentally. And I put off filming last week because it was very clear from how my voice sounded that I just wasn't in a place to show up. And I do have an episode all about showing up when you don't feel like it, and that video actually did really well for me. And funny enough, I did not want to film it, but I did, and it was worth it. So I just kind of wanted to speak from that same place of honesty in this episode. I have been dealing with a lot of life things, and instead of being so completely vague, I'm just gonna be honest and let you guys know that I am currently dealing with a very dark spout of depression, and it has not been easy for me to show up every day. It's been really hard for me to get out of bed. It's been hard for me to get out and work. It's been difficult for me to want to show up in my life and be present. And with my last episode just talking about having an honest conversation about mental health, I think as a creative, I've spoken about this, and I just wanted to get really real and just have this conversation with you guys. I know a lot of people aren't going to really see this, so I'm actually fine putting this out there on the internet just in case it helps one person. I just don't see anyone really talking about their struggles with mental health until they've gotten over that bridge. And that's normally what I would do, but I just can't right now. I feel like I need to show up and tell you guys that I'm going through it and that I really am struggling, and there's no need to be concerned about me. I am safe. I have a good support system around me. My husband takes care of me. Life is good. I'm just very overwhelmed by life and my emotions, and I just need to do what's best for me at this time in my life. And I need to make some decisions that could just make battling this depressive episode a little bit easier for me. And yeah, this is not an easy thing to talk about. And if you're someone who struggles with mental health or managing your mental health, I hear you and I see you, because yesterday was one of my hardest days and I just didn't know how I was going to keep moving forward with life. And I woke up feeling better this morning, fortunately. But yesterday I took the first steps to get myself back into weekly therapy because I need help. And I often get asked, is therapy worth it? What's it like? I even had someone ask me if I am an introspective person and if so, what's therapy like? And I am. I'm also just very self-aware. I think also going to school for mental health, I really thought that, since I wanted this to be a career for me, at one point I did want to be a therapist. So I really looked into abnormal psychology and, mental health treatment and all sorts of things. So I am very aware of what I'm experiencing. I am very in tune with my thoughts. From a young child, I always knew that I was struggling with depression and anxiety. And as I got older, social anxiety, and I've dealt with so much. And even though I know so much, I, never really knew how to heal from trauma. I didn't even know that I had PTSD. I was in shock when I found out I had it. I was in denial that I had it even before I was diagnosed and after I was diagnosed with it. But that's besides the point. The take home in this whole conversation is that even though I am someone who's very aware of what I'm feeling and what I'm going through and what I experience for the most part, going to therapy still helps me because it allows me to have a safe place where I'm allowed to feel vulnerable. I'm allowed to feel every emotion I experience and be vulnerable and know that I have a place where I have room to be heard. And just the fact that someone's holding space for me means a lot. And then also because what I'm dealing with is very real and very hard to cope with. I think having an outside perspective that it just isn't my thoughts, isn't the thoughts of someone who loves me, isn't the thoughts of someone strangers. That makes a really big difference for me and positively impacts my life. So that's kind of the life update. I am going back to therapy and I am getting the help I need because fortunately I have health insurance and I can do that. But if you're out there and you're struggling, I will share some of my favorite resources in the episode notes for this and some other ones. But yeah, if you're in a position where you can get help, please do so. I know that for me, it's been very hard for me to talk to loved ones about it. I have been battling these demons, for lack of better words, for a couple months now. I would say maybe like 6 to 7 months, and I barely just told someone about it yesterday. And I only told them because I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that is that. My goal is to continue to try to show up on this podcast as best as I can. Eventually, there will be a shift on this podcast, but that will be revealed once we get there. But yeah, life is lifing, and I'm just not really sure. And you know what? This is such a normal thing. I think now more than ever, I probably should be speaking about the reality of this because I have a platform where people are listening, and if I can get just one of you guys to take care of yourselves, or if I can just get one person to advocate for themselves or someone they love, this is worth doing. And I'm so sorry if you are like me and you are going through it. It has been rather difficult for me to navigate this. And if I'm being honest, I have spent more days just doing the bare minimum to get by and be present and get dressed and get out the door because I have to, but this is my reality and I need to take care of myself for once. I think that's something I've really struggled with, is putting myself first. And I think as a creative, especially a creative who's given into hustle culture, and as much as I want to say that I've gotten out of it, that I'm no longer abiding by the rules of hustle culture or like the thoughts that are embraced in that school of thought, I think I just have still fallen victim to it, and I've allowed myself to just really get lost in the sauce, for, again, lack of better words. And it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. When I'm depressed, I just don't feel like myself. And I constantly feel like I'm, putting on this mask that is just so sad and dark. And I know that there are so many creative outcasts out there who have experienced what I'm experiencing or are going through it or have gone through it. And I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. I'm here for you. I can hold space for you if you ever need someone to talk to. My DMs are open. Please reach out to me. And if you've listened this far, thank you for listening and thank you for hearing me out. The podcast is not going anywhere. It's just kind of shifting. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited for the conversations I'll be having on here. And yeah, your girl is she's been burnt out for a really long time. And I'm going to take care of myself. So don't worry about me one bit. We're good. I'm fine. I just wanted to give you guys a little update of what's been happening. And yeah, once I'm in a better place, I'll open up a little bit more. This is just an honest conversation from my heart to you guys. So thank you guys for listening to this update. And I will see you guys very, very, very soon. And we will be back to our regular scheduled programming and all that jazz. So thanks again for listening, and I talk to you guys all very soon. Bye.